Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning or good evening, whatever applies to you as you're tuning into the Great Wrestling Debate. And today we have special guest, Wayne Kircher's younger brother, Corey Kircher. So we welcome Corey aboard. So yeah, for this pre-SummerSlam edition of the Great Wrestling Debate, and now we have, I guess, the match card set for SummerSlam.
Yes.
Coming off of Raw.
I am definitely excited
so.
to be spending around what $50-$60 per pay per view.
Till they bump it up to 70.
So what did they bump it up to? I'm not. Because they have been 45. I've noticed lately.
So yeah, it's probably 50. I think the 70, which Corey's talking about, is probably WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's 4 hours, and if you include the hour-long pre-show, it's 5 hours.
Yeah.
So.
And was that worth it? I don't think it was.
20, yeah.
That $70
28
was
worth every penny, but no.
I bought it on DVD though.
Yeah.
Good Hall of Fame show.
But anyways, let's talk about what happened on Raw. First off, with Daniel Bryan and the whole Brad Maddox ordeal with the whole special guest referee.
I should be kind of happy though. At least Wade Barrett got a win. Felt bad for the guy for so long. But
Wade Barrett.
It was a cheap win, but it was a win.
Yeah. Speaking of Wade Barrett, he gets kind of the mem of the week honors that I saw. As usual, somebody posted on No DQ&A. They posted a mem. It was like a bunch of pictures stacked on top of each other. It's called "The Rise and Fall of Wade Barrett," and it showed like pictures of him, like Nexus. And then one
winning NXT.
One is want to talk about.
One is gets buried by John Cena, and then the core. And then the very last picture, which is the most recent, was a picture of him last week on Raw, and it says "becomes certified barber." so yeah, it was. Yeah, it's kind of a shame too, and I guess now he doesn't really have a place on SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So it seems, as a lot of guys.
Man, yeah.
But
what happened to the man?
But yeah,
I think I already brought this up. Like I said, I guess the model WWE is just don't get hurt. You get hurt, you lose momentum.
Yeah.
Well, that's happened to everybody. You look in the past. Look at an example would be Edge. Edge had a lot of momentum, and then when he got taken out with constant injuries, he was put back down the bottom, had to build himself back up. It's just a history thing that's always happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's something that you should be pushing though in a publicly traded company though.
Yeah.
You know, because pretty much what they're saying is that if you're hurt, either keep working through it or just why that's not a severe injury there. I mean, I don't know if that's what a model you should be pushing.
Maybe maybe they're monitoring him. Maybe they'll wait and see if he can stay healthy and etc. until.
Well, yeah, I mean because that was like, if anybody ever remembers Mr. Kennedy at one point. At one point, people said, well, when he was getting pushed, they were afraid to push him because he kept getting hurt once in a while. And it's like, you can't push somebody if they're injury prone.
Yeah, and I think he had a wellness policy violation in there somewhere too.
His was great because his came like a week after he went on an interview. Because I remember watching this interview on YouTube, and he's like pretty much saying, "I never took steroids. I never have taken steroids." Yeah. And a week later, he fails the steroid test.
Right.
So the man was I don't know. I think after that, the spirits in the company said, we're not pushing this guy anymore.
But yeah, so a clean-shaven Wade Barrett gets a win with Brad Maddox's help, of course.
Yeah.
And then that set up the whole thing with the segment later with Vince McMahon. Was supposedly gonna name him special guest referee, and then that's where Triple H came out and basichere named himself the special guest referee.
Because he's Triple H, and
he
just can.
This is what this is where I want to get some opinions on, because I did see online a lot of people don't like it.
Because it's gonna go now. John Cena and Bryan is going from this straight up match to it's gonna be shenanigans at the end.
Well, the thing is,
there's always a shenanigan with a special guest referee.
Yeah. But
I'm pretty sure Triple H is going to get taken out.
I would think he's going to call it down the middle. But yeah, the thing is...
Well, no. I'm afraid what's going to happen is going to be what happened with CM Punk and John Cena when he was the special referee. And if you remember the finish of that match, CM Punk, GTS to Cena, pins him. Cena's foot is clearly on the rope.
Yeah.
And yet Triple H, in all his wrestling experience, misses it and counts the 3 count. And to me, that kind of buried Paul Heyman because the message was Cena that Punk didn't beat Cena twice. Triple H cost Cena the title.
Yeah.
And then I think it could happen like this Sunday. Daniel Bryan could have him in a yes lock, and Cena might tap out, but I feel his foot's going to be on the rope. And once again, Triple H, in all his wrestling experience, misses it.
Maybe, but maybe this is just a way, like, maybe he actually will call it down the middle and won't miss anything this time. And then maybe
I'm giving that
Vince McMahon, because this is the whole thing with Vince McMahon here, saying he does not want Daniel Bryan walking out of SummerSlam as the as the champion.
Well, that's like a plot they've done before already.
Right.
What is this, a repeat plot? This sounds like Punk already. We don't want Punk to walk out as champion back in Money in the Bank with Vince.
That was
Are
different.
we repeating stuff with the same people? I would love to have something. See, I understand with Triple H deal, but to me, with the Triple H being special guest referee, you have so much other talent in the back there. You couldn't pluck one of those guys, put him in a special guest referee, and be like, look, we want you to call this match down the middle, but we want you here. Hey, you get your check paid because you're now actually calling a match. You're not bringing in, the boss's son-in-law to come in there, shaved head. Oh, I'm going to go and do this again, even though I said I'm done wrestling. But he's still being involved with something. It's like, no. And then we have an old Vince McMahon come down again. Come on, folks. We've seen it before.
I'm going to call it right down the middle.
Yeah, I'm the game.
No. But yeah, the thing is too, I think it's obviously going to be one of these things where it's one of these, big moments in this whole like build to WrestleMania with the Vince McMahon and
that's
overpower.
That's supposedly where this whole thing's going to end up is some kind of match with a Vince handpicked opponent. Wrestler against Triple H, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now here's the funny thing. Suppose we in this feud, Triple H is going to be the heel. That's the funny thing about this.
That's ironic. Yeah.
Because one of the rumors on the wrestling sites was that it was going to be Austin versus Triple H, but that's supposed to have been pulled. And now there's rumors that Vince is going to pick The Rock, and that's going to be
if The Rock is healthy.
Wait. The Rock said he's done. He can't do it anymore. If he tries it out there again, especially with Triple H, I'm sorry, but I have a funny feeling The Rock's going to leave there not in good shape and is really going to be leaving in a steam mood because he got injured twice now at a main event.
3. He got hurt at 28.
Sorry. 3 times. Now, for Stone Cold to come back, that's everybody's hope, wishes, and dreams, but Stone Cold deserves a better opponent than Triple H. Don't get me wrong. Triple H has paid his dues, has done a decent amount of stuff, but he can't hack it at a main event that well. He really can't. He can't cut it. But that's all the way back. That's all the way to WrestleMania, and that's still a pretty long shot. That was the whole issue with The Rock versus John Cena at WrestleMania 28. That was a year away, and they were still sketchy on whether it would actually pan out, especially since it was April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
So why are we worried about what they're going to plan on doing in the future that far ahead when we don't know what they might actually do? It may lean towards it, yes, but it may not. They might change it up.
I'm just curious about a heel Triple H because we haven't had a heel Triple H in years. Yeah. And if you ever see Triple H as a heel, it's 10 times better than a face Triple H. Yeah. And just the fact that they're even teasing it in the future, a heel turn, and he's the special guest referee. How do we know he's not gonna screw somebody?
Right.
Now you don't know about. Corey said about not having Triple H as a special referee. I thought about maybe having Randy Orton as a special guest referee, maybe.
As the Money in the Bank.
And hell, put a stipulation there. He has to call it X exactly right down the middle, or he gets straight to the Money in the Bank briefcase. Because you add a spin in there. Kind of almost like a Shawn Michaels guest referee kind of thing with Bret Hart and Undertaker. Like Shawn Michaels hated Bret Hart and the Undertaker, but he had to call it right down the middle, or I think the stipulation was he could not wrestle in North America if he screwed one of them. And of course, there's a controversial chair shot where he was like Bret spilled him and he was going to hit Bret, and all of a sudden Bret ducked and hit the Undertaker. And he had to count the 3 count because he can't refuse because then he's being impartial.
Right.
That of course led to the formation of DX. But like I'd be more intrigued with that as a special guest referee than Triple H, because I already know shenanigans is happening. Like you said about a straight up win. I have that result happening about maybe 5-10% chance happening. Like it's at my if it happens, I'll be surprised.
I don't see
anything else wouldn't surprise me. Randy Orton cashing in would
not
surprise
me. That might be the idea too. And correct me if I'm wrong. Randy Orton does not have a match on
No.
Sunday.
No, he doesn't
Right.
have one.
And at the end of all, they were teasing he could cash it in. So they pretty much threw every scenario out
which
there.
Shows, yeah. But then I'm thinking maybe WWE is like purposely setting people up to think, oh, Orton doesn't have a match. Everyone's gonna think he's gonna cash in afterwards.
Well, people.
You know,
well, I mean, how? I mean, even with the Corey brought up Punk and Cena, people. Even the Summerslam match, everybody kept saying, well, maybe Del Rio might just come in and cash in at the end. You know, I'm sorry that they did it at SummerSlam and not Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody would have saw that having it coming at Money in the Bank, it would have made the whole like Punk deal kind of pointless then.
Right.
I mean, him walking out was pretty impressive. And SummerSlam, the thing that surprised me wasn't that Del Rio cashed in; it was that Kevin Nash came back and and powerbomb CM Punk.
Right.
That's the thing that surprised me in that ending.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe,
I'm not exactly thrilled now that they have a specialist referee because I feel like they're adding so much to a match that doesn't need to be added to a match.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I can agree with that too. And then again, I mean, I'm sure Cena and Bryan will have rematches, or at least a rematch. Especially if something goes haywire with this match. But yeah, I mean it does throw a lot of curveballs into the match too, and I could see if one guy wins, then Orton tries to like attack or something, and maybe Triple H tries to let the winner defend the guy almost, which could also throw.
Or he pedigrees the winner and just lets Randy Orton walk down and get an easy pinfall.
Yeah.
I mean.
But I mean, I could. But the thing is that with Vince McMahon, I'm thinking that Triple H is gonna do whatever would take Vince McMahon off in this situation. So, if you think about it, Vince McMahon said he doesn't want Daniel Bryan walking out WWE champion. He for whatever reason he said he doesn't want Cena WWE champion. Although that could be fake. Yeah,
I'm totally calling that.
In
yes,
kayfabe.
All the money the man brought to the company. Yes. I do not want this man as champion. All the money he brings in kayfabe. All the money
from the little kids.
In kayfabe.
The Austin comments.
I guess in kayfabe.
It's like, yes, I hate Steve Austin. Really, Vince? the amount of money you brought in back in that day.
Yeah.
So the Hall of Fame speech for Stone Cold Steve Austin. He doesn't hate the guy.
I hate when they do so horrible real life in kayfabe sometimes now.
So the thing I could see happening is that Vince would be in support of Randy Orton trying to cash in, and then Triple H for whatever reason maybe tries to prevent that from happening, or tries to defend whoever wins.
And then what? Vince comes out with a ref.
Randy Orton as the corporate champion. Yeah. I mean, especially to that.
Oh, we haven't. No.
The WrestleMania 25
But then maybe it doesn't. Then maybe
the 25 feud.
Then maybe there is no cash in, and then that kind of keeps that feud going.
Why
with
would we
the whole,
repeat? Why are we
it makes tensions rise with them. Who knows? I mean,
how quick? Well, a corporate champion really can be any. I mean, how at one point people would say Triple H was a corporate champion.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
I mean, pretty much everybody besides Vince McMahon is a corporate champion.
But you don't want to repeat too much of a plot. Or he gets way too simple.
I would say the problem is it's a repeat. It's that does anybody not remember WrestleMania 25?
Yeah.
Didn't Randy Orton kick on McMahon's asses pretty much, and now he's gonna? I mean, this is the problem with continuity sometimes in wrestling. Right. I mean, you're telling me Orton's really gonna be siding with the McMahons after all that's happened in the past with them? I mean, it would be shocking, maybe.
Yeah.
But so was the Austin turn, and it didn't work out in the end.
And the thing is, I mean, Orton's due for a heel turn, and I think
Oh well, no. Basically, I heard he's been begging for a heel turn.
Yeah, and when he cashes in, it probably would effectively be the heel turn. Depending on the circumstances too.
Well, yeah, if he RKOs somebody, then bunts him in the head. Yeah.
If he punts him,
he has to punt him. Though.
If he punts him, that's a definite.
Yeah. Isn't that move banned anyway? I keep hearing
that
storyline that move at one point was banned due to concussion problems or something.
And I remember
he kicked a bunch of old guys in the head, Wayne. What do you think's gonna happen?
But then at Extreme Rules, he did punt the Big Show, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
But he also attempted to punt so many other people in the past.
Yeah,
he attempted to punt CM Punk.
He attempted to punt Dolph Ziggler, who just super kicked him out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I think that was when they were originally teasing a heel turn with him right there, because he actually had him finished, and he didn't go for the cover, and he wanted to finish him off more. And
Right.
Mick Foley was like yelling at him, and
yeah,
that's what I thought. That's what I thought they were going to start pulling the trigger on the heel turn, but they actually waited. And
yeah, they've waited countless times.
I mean,
probably not to Randy Orton's.
well, hell, I mean, you can say about the thing about
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan. So you would say that this match was due a while back.
Yeah,
because Bryan's always been over. It's just that you got to strike. You got to strike
yeah,
a
for a
veteran
while.
fast.
You know, they had the Team Hell No thing going for a while, and then, that worked.
Yeah.
So and it did help the tag team championships, and I guess it eventually helped the Shield get the tag team championships. So.
Yeah.
Well, Team Hell No was
But then-
created for a way to actually have
Yeah.
the tag team survive for a little while until they could
Yeah.
find people to take it over. That's kind of what they were
And
used
now,
for.
yeah, around that
So-
time, and then
Also gives Kane something to do.
And then, and then a lot of tag teams just kind of like disbanded or whatever, and now we don't really have a whole lot of tag teams like we did last year around this time. But yeah, I mean, so I guess as we go here, we'll go with the main event prediction here since we've been talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think? I mean, we kind of threw out a lot of ideas, but
I've been wanting to see Daniel Bryan and his promo really wins me over. Because I think when he said like, John, you won it 11 times, and
right,
I just want one. I just want one. First of all, he is doing fine. What I've been wanting people to say, that World Heavyweight title means nothing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That's seriously said. That one World title means nothing. And you know what? It is. It hasn't meant anything for a while.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's fine. Honestly, that's fine.
Which, yeah.
At the end of the day, there can only be one true world champion really in the company.
Which does beg
and
the
honestly,
question.
if you can beat John Cena, you're a real world champion.
Yeah.
Because even Cena's promo, although felt like he was going the usual way, actually was pretty entertaining.
It was, but then the problem is he'll come out the next night and he'll be back to goofy old Cena, and it's like So,
I mean, they're wrong.
The
I hated when he brought up the Make a Wish kid.
Oh,
because and the
camera pointed right at the kid nonetheless too, and his dad. And I hate that for a reason because I know I keep hearing Cena say he doesn't care. This is almost like if you boo John Cena, you're booing a guy who's helping a Make a Wish kid then. Right. So therefore, you're technically booing Make a Wish. I mean, I hate when he's the only one who's done this before. There have been many athletes, celebrities who do this. They throw these organizations out as a shield. It feels like
right.
And I'm not saying that's what John's doing. That's what it feels like when he says stuff like this in the middle of a promo.
Well, at least to protect his character. Nobody hates the actual person, John Cena.
Right, exactly.
But the character persona.
Very few,
very few. I'm talking about the fact
psychos
that
behind a keyboard.
Cena rebounded by acknowledging, this goofy guy's beating these legends here. Yeah. And not mention Daniel Bryan's name, which I thought was brilliant. Because when you think about it, Dean Bryan hasn't earned the right to be in that league yet. But even Daniel Bryan came back.
In kayfabe,
that ending with the slap was brilliant because even I think everybody thought, he's going to smack the hell out of John
Cena.
Didn't. And he said no because I don't respect you and you only do it to wrestlers and you are not a wrestler. And Cena's reaction was perfect.
He stayed true, and then he stayed.
And of course, Cena smacks the hell out of Bryan. And
Bryan stayed true to himself.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. He just points at Cena and goes, "No, I'm not smacking you because you haven't earned the right to be called a wrestler."
Yeah.
So the emotion was there.
Yeah, it was.
So I want to see Dean Bryan win, and I have a feeling it's not going to be a straight up win.
Yeah, which
for me is going to just downgrade whatever win he gets.
Either way, you'd think even if Cena did lose clean, he'd get a rematch clause anyways.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't screwy at all.
But
12 time.
Yeah.
12 time. Woo!
Well, actually, I think he won the whatever time. He's actually a 13.
He's a 13-time world champion. But the
three more. The
funny thing is,
three more ties Ric Flair.
The funny thing is, though, he says.
Although according to Wikipedia, Ric Flair's actually like a 27-time champion, but
the thing is, though, Cena says I've held this 11 times. No, not only did he not count the world heavyweight champion.
But even Cena's acknowledging, those two reigns don't matter.
But it's like, well, yeah, but this is the first time you're holding that specific belt. Because he's held two other different belts of when he had the old undisputed SmackDown World Heavyweight Championship.
From JBL.
Yeah, kind of like that.
And the
That
customized
lasted
spirit
about,
belt.
like,
Which to me, I don't know why they changed it to what we've had for
Because
years.
Cena was a
now.
rapper back
But
in
yeah,
the day.
He was a
it
spinner
was
guy.
unfortunate.
He did it to US
And the
belt.
whole gimmick, I think, with JBL and John Cena was that he was a guy from the streets of West Newbury, Massachusetts, against this billionaire, stock exchange guy,
From
JBL.
Texas.
So, well, it was poor. It was pretty much the hood, aka John Cena, versus the 1%, pretty much. That's how I looked at the JBL John Cena feud back in the day, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which was kind of entertaining in that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it would have been more entertaining if we would have done that during the maybe the banking crisis and when the U.S. economy happened, because that would have been more realistic in that. How maybe John Cena loses his home or something, and JBL repossesses his home or something.
And now, and then years later, he finds it with all these muscle cars.
Yeah.
Well,
his fortress of solitude down in Tampa, Florida. But if you're going to my prediction, Daniel Bryan ain't a controversial finish.
I could definitely see that. And then again, that plays up with Triple H being the referee, and then Vince McMahon getting ticked off about that.
And you know what? I don't see anyone cashing it in. I
don't either, because
I think the fact that they even teased it shows
they might wait. They might actually wait.
I think they should.
Or he does, but he fails.
Which would be interesting.
Which would really shock people, because that'd be the second guy to do it.
I think.
Well, yeah, and then look at that. It'd be the second guy from the veteran group.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the newcomers have always gotten it. But that veteran group started stuff that they started last year.
Cena.
Yeah.
Failed.
So,
literally, they're literally putting that money in the bank in there just to get the old guys a chance. Yeah, we know some of you guys weren't, were doing other stuff before Money in the Bank and at that point in time. So here you go. This is your chance now to earn that Money in the Bank and then lose it.
Yeah.
That's the trend.
After about 5 rematches, he never got it back anyways. But then he gets in the Royal Rumble not too long after, goes to WrestleMania, and as we all thought, beats The Rock for the championship. But yeah.
I was so hoping for somebody else.
So Tyler's agreeing with me.
Yeah, me too.
So Tyler, you're agreeing with me on the
I follow. Yeah,
I pray.
And I think they should.
Bryan.
Yeah, and I think they should wait for.
See, Cena even acknowledged that too. He's like, they've been praying for.
Yeah.
This is good. He even said names like, oh, CM Punk's gonna be the guy to dethrone me, and he couldn't get the job done, and Randy Orton couldn't dethrone me, and now your name's up, and what makes you think you are better than these two guys?
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, honestly, if Daniel Bryan wins, it's not going to be the dethroning of the John Cena era.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, because he'll still be their paper boy.
And the thing is, if there's a controversial finish, people that'll only fuel people about, John Cena. Of course, they couldn't have Daniel Bryan beat him totally clean, or they couldn't have.
Well, that's the thing there too. I feel like the problem with controversial finishes sometimes is that you discredit the guy who won.
Right.
That.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more,
especially when it's against John Cena.
It's gonna be more like Daniel Bryan didn't win. John Cena just got screwed.
Yeah.
Right.
And I really that's the wrong message to send to whoever's winning your.
Right.
I'm just gonna feel
unless
sorry.
Daniel Bryan turns heel, then it makes sense if he's turning heel.
But at this point, at this point,
would you really do that though? At this point, how over he is? I mean, that's the thing.
And I mean, he kind of was like a on and off heel as it was, and
I'm not saying he would be a bad heel. I just don't know why you would do it right now.
And it would look silly too, because John Cena gets more boos than Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's been known for getting bigger reactions lately than Cena has at times. So it'd come off pretty foolish to me if they tried that. But yeah, I agree. I think Orton's gonna either come out and try to cash in, and then something happens and he doesn't, or because I just think now they should let this whole Cena and Bryan feud play out until they can have it a few months, however long they have it, and not have Orton cash in until down the road when he can, and then maybe Orton can complete his heel turn that way, and so that's I agree with what that could happen there. Well, I guess we'll just we'll go to Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. They had a good ending segment.
This whole feud's been amazing.
Yeah.
The sad part is that it might just end at SummerSlam. It's only been going on for like a month. Maybe 2 months if you want to count the whole teasing with Paul Heyman did. But it's sad that it's probably only going to go a month, because what I've been seeing is wrestling magic pretty much.
Yeah.
This is easily Brock Lesnar's best feuds when he came back to the company. Maybe because it actually makes sense.
I think part of that also is it was seen the same way when The Rock faced CM Punk. I think CM Punk brings out for these older guys that are coming back, that sort of old fire. Because
Yeah.
they're facing somebody who's young-ish, that has that old fire from back in the day. So you see somebody like that, they're firing in that same type of stuff. You have to pump up your game to match them. And that's why you get this magic and gold. Well, part of that is due to CM Punk, and part of it's due to Brock Lesnar just firing up his old fire back.
Well,
and like you said, a good story was built in.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's really won this feud over is the fact that these two guys are best friends of Paul Heyman. It's been well documented that these two are, and at the same time, I think that means in real life, Lesnar and Punk are best friends.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have that much chemistry together in real life, it shows a lot out there. Like
they say, a lot of great matches take place between really good real life friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Although
Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels can disagree with that back in the 90s.
Yeah.
When those two hated each other's guts, and yet they were pulling out 5-star matches.
Right.
Even the screw job match in Montreal was up to the screw job point was pretty much going towards a 5-star match. But no, I mean, so obviously Punk finally beat up Lesnar.
Right.
They got that out of the way. They even beat up Curtis Axel.
Yeah. Although Heyman escaped.
That's what I'm saying. That's the key thing there. That's what makes me think Punk wins. But if Punk wins, the feud's over then.
Yeah, and
because then Brock. I mean, and if Brock wins, the feud continues. But at the same time, I don't think Brock's coming back to Mania then. And can you keep a feud like this, as red hot it is right now? Can you keep it still like interesting up to WrestleMania? Because that's the problem with these part-time guys is that they just leave, and we have to somehow get the storyline going. And that's the problem I think with like you said, the John Cena Rock thing of 28. It's a year in advance, and Rock was hardly there to promote it like he would show occasionally here and there, and John would occasionally acknowledge it here and there, but and then when it finally, I don't think it really was until Royal Rumble until they finally started promoting it as a match, really.
Right.
So I think Punk's going to win because I don't see this match. I see this just the feud ending like that, as in Punk beats Lesnar and he finally gets his hands on Paul Heyman finally. Don't know how much of a beating he's gonna do because Paul Heyman's an old man right now, and he can't take as much beating as he used to back when he was younger. But I mean, but at the same time, if Lesnar wins, obviously the feud's continuing. Whether it's with Brock Lesnar in the next few months, I mean, I guess you can throw Curtis Axel in there, but after seeing him get his ass kicked by CM Punk, and it's just no offense to Curtis Axel, young and hungry, but he's no Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So Paul Heyman needs a new guy. And, there is one guy that's there that is a Paul Heyman man. He just reappeared. Came back in Money in the Bank.
Rob Van Dam?
Rob Van Dam.
But do you turn him heel?
You could possibly actually turn him heel. Or they could always turn CM Punk heel.
Back heel. That'd be interesting.
Have him flip-flop. Make it more interesting. Yeah. It all depends. But they can keep the feud going. It's tough, but they can get it done.
Yeah, and the thing is, the fact that CM Punk had the upper hand last night makes me wonder.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Usually,
that happens.
The odds are is that usually when a wrestler is on the losing end on the final show, hanging the pay-per-view, usually they win.
Yeah.
Because usually, that they try to get sympathy towards a baby face, or they try to maybe make the baby face come off as like confident, maybe.
Right.
Which is what they pretty much did with Punk. What did Punk do? He was pretty much rubbing in Brock's face at the top of the entrance ramp. I got your number now. You no longer intimidate you. I mean, you no longer intimidate me. I have now just intimidated you. Because even Brock, he had the face of like pissed off, but his facial reaction was almost like kind of a fear, kind of a Punk, which is weird because he outgrows Punk pretty. I mean, he is 2 times bigger than Punk pretty much. Both in weight, height and weight pretty much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll just go Punk because I just don't think WWE can keep this feud going up to Mania.
And the thing is, if they do have another rematch, it feels like it'd be obvious then that Punk. If Punk lost at SummerSlam, it's just like the Triple H feud, and just like the Rock and Cena. Once we found out they were gonna face each other, once we were gonna have twice in a lifetime, as people would say.
Yeah.
So that's the downside if they do end up, stretching the feud, and they do have another match. It would feel like, a little obvious that the other guy would win.
Mm-hmm. Well, they might have to do it just for the fact that they don't have a big.
I mean, I wouldn't complain about it,
but
I mean, I wouldn't complain about it, but because CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, or CM Punk and Brock Lesnar.
See, the difference is though, even though I would know the outcome of, even if they continue in the Mania, and the outcome that CM Punk would beat Brock Lesnar, it'd be one heck of a match because you have, unlike where it was Lesnar and Triple H, you had two brawlers.
Right.
You take Cena Rock, two brawlers. You take Punk, a guy who's known for submissions, tactician, all this stuff mixed with a brawler. You now have a completely different style.
Do you think that maybe in their match this Sunday they might actually focus some MMA maybe in there for maybe the first 5 minutes?
They might.
I mean, a takedown is like a Punk and a guillotine. I mean, it might actually feel more like a UFC match in the first 5 minutes maybe. I mean, how Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe did it at TNA one time, it was lockdown. First 5 minutes was nothing but an MMA match, pretty much. They did single weight takedowns, submission holds.
Yeah.
And they went a steel cage match nonetheless, too. Yeah. So it's kind of like an actual UFC
maybe
match.
They could, Maybe like down the road they could do like an Iron Man. If they do a rematch, they could do like an Iron Man or something. Because they're known for, with Brock Lesnar, having him do different kinds of matches. That's
we haven't even done an Iron Man in forever.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And Punk
forever.
Punk does an Iron Man match. I think it should be a 90. I think it should be a 90-minute Iron Man match.
Oh goodness.
Him and Daniel Bryan in a 90-minute Iron Man match.
And then that way,
easily the longest match in WrestleMania history.
Yeah.
And Punk supposedly did what Punk said in his DVD. They actually did that one time. Against Chris Hero. I think it was on the indie circuit.
Yeah, it was a 90-minute one.
Which he still says is probably the longest one-on-one indies match. And the longest usually WWE matches are like the 60-minute Iron Man matches, but 90 minutes. I mean, it would be boring for some people, but if you're throwing maybe a Punk and a Daniel Bryan, that could be.
You got to have two powerhouses.
Yeah, well, two guys who can also be entertaining and can keep it going for 90 minutes. I mean, I remember one time the Orton and Cena did a 60-minute, but they had to throw in to make it more entertaining.
Yeah,
they had to make it no disqualification, no count out, and they did all these spots. I think at one point Orton had Cena laid out and he started hitting the pyro buttons.
Yeah.
I mean, just start hitting with the buttons randomly and that, and I guess trying to blow Cena up. But Cena ended up getting out of the pyro just in time.
Yeah.
As if it was planned all along.
Yeah.
But that would be interesting.
Personally, I would hope the feud continues because I think they would put. I honestly think I think that match will be an awesome match at SummerSlam, but I also think they could pull off at least the second one. Those two have enough chemistry together that they can pull off a double match.
Right.
But that's honestly up to both the wrestlers' call and up to WWE on who actually going to do it.
It's Vince's call in the end.
Yeah, it's really Vince's call.
Let's keep this clear. I don't care what they're saying right now.
It's still
Vince McMahon's company until he dies.
I mean, the main thing you got to realize is WrestleMania. They're trying to promote it now, but they don't have a match to promote it.
Right.
If you have Lesnar win, you now have a match to promote for Mania, the 30th anniversary. That's supposed to be this grand.
Yeah.
Poobah.
Because nobody else knows the status of any other match.
But who else? I mean, the other thing is, who else is going to face Lesnar?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have him come back for Mania.
Rock's name did come up originally.
It did.
But with his
now Undertaker's match is
questionable. Yeah. But both those guys, it's questionable for some guys, and so guys like them. So yeah, it does make it like they.
The only news from Mania is that I've heard from the websites is that. The news going around the locker room is that because the heavy wrestlers who hated 28 and 29, especially if you were a full-time wrestler, because it was pretty much headlined by part-timers.
Right.
And pretty much the news going on for 30 is that those guys won't be happy for 30 then, because it's still going to be headlined by part-timers.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be surprised if the WWE title match is like the fourth match on the card.
Yeah.
Like it won't even be the main event, I bet.
Well, even if they use part-timers, you can still find a way to put your roster in there for some good use.
Yeah.
It's not like, and don't get me wrong, 28 had some good middle matches. I mean, honestly, people might say it wasn't that, but Cody Rhodes and Big Show were pretty entertaining.
For a 6-minute match.
It was only 6 minutes.
Orton and Kane, I remember for that.
That was and
actually had a nice finish.
And both of them were shocking because people originally thought.
The shame is Daniel Bryan match kind of screwed up the whole beginning though.
Oh, that was horrible. That was horrible.
Poor Daniel. But you know what though? That's what
I blame the ref though. I blame the ref right at the wrong time. Ding.
Hey, I know is that the Yes chant started that Mania. So really, in the end of it, it actually helped Daniel Bryan's career, not did it hurt him.
The funny thing, I and before like the Yes chant, I remember like kind of like pointing out how it was kind of humorous how he'd come out and do that. That was, and that
Well,
was
the thing too. Like he would always do it, but nobody really picked up
I
what he was doing.
I would say that's kind of funny how he does that, and you know,
then
and then
sudden,
eventually, then
all of a sudden people started
yeah.
to hear like, oh wait, he's saying yes. He's got like, his hands going up in the air, and I think people started.
And then finally he goes no.
He switched it up when he like kind of turned heel.
And then that just enticed the audience to say yes even more because it's like
he hates yes. He was like going insane with that chant, and now he's embracing it again. So it's amazing how a heel and a face can, like, it's almost like two different people. These guys sometimes.
Yeah.
Just two opposites of the same.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm going with Punk just because it don't. As much as I want to see Lesnar Punk too, I don't think it's going to happen.
It's interesting. It'll be interesting, and I mean, it could go either way, but
I'm hoping for a Brock Lesnar win, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
I'd be happy if CM Punk won anyways, so I couldn't care. Either or works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be an entertaining match. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
The entertainment.
Yeah. So now let's go to the pre-show match because this might actually be the third best match on the card if you think about it. Now it's
how about the Shield promo
RVD
beforehand though?
They're short like backstage.
Seth Rollins was perfect. Amber was perfect.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns isn't the strongest guy on the mic, but even he's a bad.
He was good. Yeah, and the thing is, they've like held back on doing this stuff lately.
But they were actually talking fact though.
Yeah.
They were actually acknowledging, hey, we're three of the youngest guys in the roster, and look at us here.
Yeah.
You know, and no offense to the veterans that want to. I think they even say no offense to the veterans that want to hog the card here, but we're gunning for your spots here.
Yeah.
You know, we're leading the charge of the next generation. I mean, they are finally acknowledging that how important they are now to this whole maybe potential replacement to John Cena. Because I keep telling Corey this here. This Vince has never pushed a guy in his 40s as the top guy. And John's what, 36?
36?
So technically we have 4 more years of John Cena era, and technically, unless Cena they make exception with Cena would not only be the top guy, he'll be maybe the number 2 baby face or something. But technically by then he'll be playing supporting role and not starring in every role pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But
the way I see it, I think what WWE should try to do is not just like say like, oh, we want this guy to be number one. Like they should like get like several guys that we want all these guys to be number one. I think
I think that's what they did with Cena originally though. Like let's face it.
Originally
it was a battle between Batista and John Cena.
Yeah.
The thing that really
he's still Triple H there.
But what hurt
in the mix?
But Triple H was just hogging the spot again. Let's face it.
Orton was trying to get a fire out of it for number 1.
Well, Orton had the number. Him and Edge were battling for that number 1 heel. And then we had Jericho come back. I mean, at one point, I think you had Jericho, Edge, and Jericho all heels, and
then Kurt Angle until he left.
But
was in
but when it originally started, you know, you had Batista as this baby face, and then you had John Cena, and for a while, they were exchanging back and forth who was number 1 and who was going to be number 2. And after a while, like even Batista acknowledged when he was turning heel, Cena eventually just capitalized and went through. Now, honestly, I think the thing that did it was that once again, John was younger than Dave Batista. I think Batista was like 38 or something.
Batista's in his like, Batista's like 43 now. 44? He's getting up.
But when he first won the title over Triple H, like back in, I think he was like only like he was like in his like high 30s though.
2005.
Why John was in his like his low 30s, high 20s in that. So I think really, if I do the math right, I think when Lily Batista turned 40, that's really when they were starting to say, no, John's the top babyface now. So that whole logic of Vince only going with young guys to be the top, and number 40 being the magic number, I think that kind of applies. Well, actually, even had Batista say, like, look, I'm not going to wrestle in my mid-40s or 50s. And I think after he said that, he pretty much was telling Vince, you know, look, let this kid be the number 1 spot pretty much. Because, I mean, hell, even with Brock Lesnar, I think the only reason why Brock Lesnar got turned heel was because he pretty much told Vince, I can't handle this. I can't handle all the interviews, all this, all that.
All the babyface attention.
Well, that's why I think Brock's doing these part-time things now. The thing that killed Brock wasn't that he didn't like the professional wrestling idea. He hated the traveling. And if you're the top guy, which is what he was, you had to go everywhere, every interview, every this. Which is why, to Cena's credit, he's handled it. For the last 10 years, he hasn't bitched, whined, complained. He's gone on an interview. He's done every interview. I mean, every segment. He's gone to every show.
He could use a break though.
Well, that's what people saying it too. He's not getting any younger.
He's gonna hit his stress level bad.
Doesn't he? Yeah, like I mean.
Well, too. You get older, your bones don't get any stronger.
Yeah.
I mean.
And I've seen it a couple
times. Your body
times.
does deteriorate.
I've seen it a couple times in his matches. It looked like his stress level was not good. I mean,
you mean like
I know
veins are popping out of his forehead a few times?
Well, there's many different ones, but you could tell he loves the business and everything, but you could also tell you guys shouldn't just be putting everything on him because he's getting up there, but he's also going to get high stress levels, and the problem with that is, next thing you know, he'll just pop over dead on the ring because he overstressed. Because the realize is,
that's gonna be great for listening in the future.
It's not the same WWE like back in the day because you had not as much promotion going out. It took a while for it to really go out, and now everywhere. Yeah. But even if you go a little further back before Cena, it wasn't as much. Now they're really hammering so much stuff out there, but it's like you can't give it to somebody else as well.
Yeah.
You're telling me you can't
share
even your second best guy doing some of that load so that way it's not just him. Because anybody who takes John Cena's spot is going to then have to bear that load for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think they're going to handle it.
Well, that's what some people have been saying too. It's like, I mean, for a while, I think I think even like almost every pretty much exchange meeting that the WWE does, like every time they talk to the investors, this question always gets asked by Vince. Vince, who is the future of the company right now? And Vince really can't give a straight answer. Right. He might throw a name out. I mean, like one time he threw out the Miz, which at this point I'm saying, okay, when was the last time he had a match?
Yeah.
I mean, but Vince was pretty much saying, look, Miz back in the day when he was the champion, he was a workhorse. He would do every interview. He would do this. I mean, he was doing stuff that you needed to do to be a top guy. Granted, he was the top heel at the time, but still he was doing these things. And supposedly, but I mean, here like with Dan Bryan, he's been starting to show up in interviews and but it's also not that you have to show up at an interview. You have to look professional at these interviews because you're representing the company. So what these creative guys look at is not only like doing the interviews, but how do you come off in these interviews? Do you come off likable at all in these interviews? And according to what some have been saying, Daniel Bryan in interviews is kind of entertaining and people like him. And if people like him,
he seems like a nice guy. Like, I mean,
very, like I said, a very, well, like I said, pretty much he trained with Shawn Michaels, aka maybe William Regal. I think, as CM Punk said, all really Shawn Michaels did was steal his money pretty much and say, okay, Regal, train him pretty much. But and then pretty much worked hard. He actually made it to the company like back around when Cena made it to the company, but never made it to the main roster. And he kept working, kept calling himself the best in the world, kept saying he was the American Dragon, working at Ring of Honor, and finally he got a shot. And granted, he's not his Ring of Honor character, but he's now embracing the WWE machine, which is the entertainment side. Yeah, but he's still this great
and at
wrestler,
the same time, he's a great wrestler, which
though.
Cena unfortunately tends not to be.
No,
which is a big criticism.
We need to focus back on our big big match here for the pre-show.
Yeah,
Rob Van Dam versus
Dean Ambrose.
Ambrose. I mean, that right there is going to be the key. Honestly, it's going to be an awesome match to open the show because you have the veteran Rob Van Dam just coming back, has pretty good hype still, versus Dean Ambrose, the Shield, who's on fire. He's the United States champion. That is the way for Dean Ambrose right there to really seal his name in the company, beating a legend like Rob Van Dam. Because Rob Van Dam, I have no doubt in my mind, he's probably a future WWE Hall of Famer.
Well, he is now that he's on Vince's good side. Let's be fair here. There's no actual building. This is the Hall of Fame in Vince McMahon's head.
It's getting there. It's getting the building.
To be fair, though, he has given the Ultimate Warrior supposedly now. So maybe, and just Bruno San Martino too. So Vince might be making, who knows? I think Hulk Hogan might be in a ring maybe 2 years from now. And there ain't 2 days going at this point. It could happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, I think Ambrose now has to win. He has to win legitimately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like I said, this is his biggest challenge, I think. I mean, he beat Kane by count out, but this could be his biggest win here. This could really elevate Ambrose as a single competitor. honestly, as a Shield in general, since they're not all going to be featured on the show, I'm still hoping for a White family Shield match down the line, but we'll see.
Well, I'm just hoping they don't throw in with the Shield not being on the card. They don't show up to support. Like even if they're just there supporting Ambrose, honestly, they shouldn't be there because then that loses his legitimacy. Because then you have these two guys that are gonna.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like chicken shit heels as much as the next person, but
you're gonna need some tough ones in there too.
Yeah, no, you gotta have legitimate wins once in a while.
Yeah.
That's how people take you seriously. Yeah, there's times when you have to walk out like Ric Flair used to do all the time as a bad guy, but he had to also win a few matches legitimately. So that way, or at least make have like Rob Van Dam make a mistake. Like he has Ambrose beat. He goes up for a 5-star and he just misses.
Slips or something.
He slips or misses. It's his fault he lost, not Ambrose's fault. Ambrose capitalized on the mistake that this veteran quote unquote made.
Yeah, and the thing with the rest of the Shield, it seems like this card is like it's missing a few matches. So I mean, I could see them like teaming up Big Show and Mark Henry and maybe putting for the tag team titles. I don't know.
Would have thought those two guys would form a tag team. But I guess it shows you how desperate they are for a tag team right now.
But yeah, with the U.S. title,
they're also probably desperate for the fact of trying to find stuff for these guys to do.
Yeah, and the thing I didn't like about the Battle Royal is, okay, they had Mark Henry who just faced John Cena for the WWE Championship, and now it's a Battle Royal for the U.S. Championship.
Mm-hmm.
They had Ryback, who before Mark Henry, same thing. They had RVD, who was in the Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE.
He came close.
He came close, and then U.S. title, where in the U.S. titles, it's been a mid card title for.
To be fair though, at least Ambrose is actually giving a damn about it though. He actually I like
treated it like it was.
I like Dan O'Brien. Oh yeah, the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Forget that title. Forget it.
Yeah.
John Cena has the real prize.
But the thing, But
at least Ambrose is like, I don't give a damn what other people think. This is legitimate to me.
Yeah, but the thing is, when he became U.S. champion, I thought, to me, that's a bit of a step down because you have Alberto Del Rio, World Heavyweight Champion, and Ambrose with, to me, a lot more potential. Could easily have won, been a world champion, and especially with the way that's been downplayed lately.
He still has time to work it to there. He's I think they're trying to feel him out with the United States Championship. Yeah. And they're putting him through veterans to see how well the veterans feel with him competing. And hopefully one day he'll be in a Money in the Bank match and actually, get that Money in the Bank. Because that's the big thing that catapults a young guy. It used to be the Royal Rumble, but as you can tell, the Royal Rumble hasn't really done so much to catapult too many people's
Well, Sheamus won it in 2010.
That was about it.
A young guy. He beat Jericho nonetheless.
Yeah. So... But yeah, my point is, it seems like a lot of guys, like there's a lot of wavering between all the championships, and it could benefit them perhaps if they had just the WWE Championship and then Intercontinental or US and tag team on one.
Well, it was really I think only 5 or 6 titles anyway, pretty much.
Yeah, they cut it down from a lot than what it was.
But with the way they handle them, it's like Well, because I look at RVD and Ambrose, I'm thinking these guys are above this, and time I think will tell. With
especially
Ambrose.
when you have now, it's been Natalia and Brie Bella on the main card, not the pre-show, the main card.
Yeah,
and this feud is all based on Total Divas.
Yeah, guess a way to actually give that show like a bit of
that's real. That's a promotion
relevance to the show.
Eva Marie's gonna be out there, so we get to see her.
It's like an extension. It's like this is what's going on Total Divas, and now it like transpires on.
So Brie Bella has got to trust the lady that who at one point she claimed looked just like her.
Yeah, but I say clean win for Ambrose. I don't think RVD.
How about the Ring of Fire match?
Which apparently is just. It's not really an Inferno match.
No. The whole
apparently,
it's
just the ring surrounded by fire to apparently keep people.
Yeah, exactly. It's pinfall submission. The whole point is not to light the guy person on fire.
They're not gonna do that anymore.
Exactly.
Not a PG era.
I gotta do that.
Well, that too, and it's mostly the last one, which I think was MVP Kane.
Yeah.
MVP did suffer legitimate burns.
Yeah.
I don't know to what degree,
because
I do they did gimmick up the burns by like showing like supposedly melted skin and everything there, which actually looked pretty disgusting. It also looked pretty fake too. like some like movie magic maybe.
Yeah.
But
Die Hard.
But he did suffer. But he did suffer some by F you Bruce Willis. but
we're talking about wrestling here. We're not worried about the other entertainment.
$4 million for 4 days. Yeah, bullshit. Would you just? But anyway. But I don't see in a PG era them doing a match where the whole point is you have to light your opponent on fire to win.
Yeah.
That being said,
it's
Kane. They need to do an angle for Kane because
yeah,
See No Evil 2's coming out. I hear.
Yeah, I guess it's
supposedly he's going to be filming.
I guess essentially it's just for decoration.
The fire decoration.
Hey, total decoration.
Hey, if these guys go the turnbuckle, the flames usually jump up higher than they usually are because of all that momentum. And, you know, Kane's a big guy, and so is Bray Wyatt. Tubby kind of, but and honestly, Bray Wyatt's gonna win. I think I hope he does.
Yeah, and
there's no really point in Kane winning.
They're probably gonna push it, and the reason why they did this type of match is because people affiliated, Kane, Big Red Monster. He used to do a lot of, Inferno matches, very gimmicky matches that made sense for his character. So they're like, well, why don't we have this new guy beat the Big Red Monster, Big Red Machine at his own game, his own little mindset.
How about this? I originally said Ambrose Taker because I want to see a young guy beat the streak. Yeah, Bray Wyatt and Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. It's down in New Orleans. You can do like a voodoo how it could be a coffin match for I care or something. How Buried Alive? Bury the Streak in a Buried Alive match, bro. I mean, and though it would be funny.
We don't know what.
Who would have thought Husky Harris might be
we don't know what they are.
Yeah,
we don't even know what's going through Taker's mind because most of that decision comes from Taker himself.
Well, no, but I'm just saying he's feuding with his brother. Would it make sense he feuds with Taker down the line then?
How many people have feuded with Kane and haven't feuded with Undertaker?
Well, originally there was an idea that maybe Undertaker would join Kane
against the Wyatt family,
in the build up to some, but I mean that didn't happen, of course.
No,
at this point.
Taker only does WrestleManias now. He's
pretty
much.
That
he's got to rest up and get healed.
Although this year he did do a little after wrestling, surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, I think he did that because
watch Daniel Bryan do like the Buzz of Destruction thing at the end though.
But I think he did that. Part of the reason was because he sees this young tag team, and he wanted to make them have more legitimacy. And I'm pretty sure it was somebody else backstage that probably suggested it to Taker, and Taker might have liked the idea. I don't know. I can tell you this much: the fact that Taker decided to let them do that and get involved in that type of stuff, that was crazy. But that proves how much they had high on the Shield.
Yeah.
Which is still moving. They're still chugging along, going right through. Yeah. And now you have this new group. Mm-hmm. Which, begs the question, are they going to actually put them into a tag team match? The Wyatt family versus the Shield. I'm assuming the fact that you have these guys being pushed pretty well, you would hope it would clash. As long as it doesn't do a flop clash like some other group tag teams have done.
The problem,
that's the only thing.
Here's the problem with a few like that, though. Who do you turn babyface?
Yeah, right.
I would say the Shield because they've been around longer. And the whole Bray Wyatt character just comes off more as like I said, almost like CM Punk to the Straight Society, kind of like a phony like prophet or Jesus kind of character.
You could also do it though where one of the guys are not necessarily heels, or faces, but they dislike the other team. But it's enough that the crowd likes them.
Yeah.
But it's not to the point where
like an anti-hero.
Yeah, an anti-hero, but you're not really heroes. Yeah. You're just saying, look, we hate you for this reason. We hate your idea, but we don't like these other guys either.
Well, the Shield's reason can be obvious, which is
the Shield isn't going to play the crowd.
No, the Shield's argument, which is thinking about they could be kind of the babyface, would be, look, no, this is our yard, damn it.
Yeah.
Who are you to come in here and beat up random talent? That's what we do.
That's what they started.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
We do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, and some of the most simple reasons lead to some of the best feuds sometimes. I mean, how Jericho and Kane won that feud over because Jericho spilled a cup of coffee on Kane.
Yeah.
And Kane didn't like coffee getting spilled on him.
Well, I think it's going to really be determined, though, after this match.
Yeah.
I think they're putting Wyatt in there just to see, okay, we're going to put you in with a veteran.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see how well you perform. If they can do it.
It's Husky Harris. He'll be fine.
Well, if he can do it, I'm pretty sure we will see a Shield versus Wyatt family in the future.
Besides that,
if he flops,
besides that,
we're
the
in
reason
trouble.
why I think Bray Wyatt has more of an advantage over Ambrose now, maybe the face Taker, is because second generation. IRS is his dad, who is good buddies with Taker. Yeah. What a great way to maybe win his son, show some respect to his son, maybe.
Well, it also depends. They might not choose a young buck. They might also choose a veteran to face him. It all depends. We don't know yet.
Yeah, because I don't know if that was
a veteran. Taker wins. Because there's no point. I want to see a young guy because now it's unpredictable. Does Taker actually let a young up-and-comer end this legendary streak? And it is legendary.
It has to be like a
and I told you this earlier.
That's pretty over, though. Like Ambrose, because by that point in time, he could be like, I
mean, and I told you this earlier. The whole point of a winning streak in the first place is that it has to end eventually. That's what makes it so monumental.
We already know nobody's going to ever come close.
It also makes the person come off human. Now, granted, this is the Undertaker you were talking about here, and whose gimmick is not, he's a phenom. He's not human, which makes him, I guess, trounce any sports record out there. Yeah. But still, I mean, the person that does it, legendary status already. Mm-hmm. Doing what these veterans couldn't do. I mean, hell, Troy had 3 chances to beat him.
Well, not just veterans, legends, Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I mean, you had so many people that couldn't do it. Some good ones, some bad ones.
Jai Gonzalez.
The King Kong Bundy.
Yeah. We got sirens in the background. I don't know what's going on.
Fire department.
I'm guessing it's a fire.
Yeah, I mean
maybe some arson happening down there.
Somebody saw Kane.
The second siren. Yeah, Scott Steiner's theme song's playing.
Yeah, Scott Steiner's theme song's playing in the background.
So anyways.
But let's move on to this other. Well, first of all, I think we're all going Bray Wyatt. We're going Bray Wyatt.
Obviously, and
I'm pretty sure Wyatt's gonna win.
Obvious. How about Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow? The feud that I don't think is getting enough respect.
Yeah.
I really feel, but I think this has been a highly entertaining mid-card feud.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that's screwing us up is the Money in the Bank briefcase. As of right now, not on the line in the match. Yeah. And me, if that's the case, Sandow wins.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in Cody winning.
And the thing is, like Cody's been like costing him, Damien Sandow wins here and there, like last week.
Not to mention he flew the briefcase into the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. So
to be fair though, Sandow came back with a better briefcase.
Yeah.
And consider the fact that he has to actually carry this around of him for as long as he wants to carry it around of him, for the airports, and at least he can show it off now instead of seaweed and whatever the hell else they had thrown on that briefcase.
Yeah.
But no, I think if the briefcase isn't on the line, let Sandow win.
Yeah.
Cody's had his moment. He's now proven he can be entertaining.
In the mid, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's my pick, Sandow.
Yeah.
I
agree with that.
Corey,
so,
Corey, do you care? Get a comment.
Well, for our wager, I'm hoping Rhodes, so I can get more points.
Oh yes, our draft. I am kicking your ass so bad right now.
But honestly, both are good young guys that both still have potential.
You might actually win this pay-per-view though. If you get some results in your favor, you might actually win this thing.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But either one works for me. They're good. They're guys that have shown they got talent.
Yeah.
So it's now good that they've built up this friendship. So again, like we said before, something that brings up that sort of friendship, it's going to add more. These guys have shown an on-camera relationship that okay, now they have to prove how well this chemistry will really work. Yeah. So I'm definitely curious to see how well that match will go.
An interesting match, Brie Bella against Natalya.
I don't even want to talk about that.
5-star classic in the working year right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that match. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So we'll go
out of the blue.
Okay, so we're going with don't give a shit. Okay, there we go. We're good.
Look, honestly, the Diva division has not been great, and it really has never sparked back up. It hasn't been anywhere, and a lot of that is due to the fact that you had plenty of these veteran divas that are willing to come back, but you don't capitalize on just having them help promote the young people. Because the problem is now you don't have these veterans, so now you have a bunch of new divas that are now more supermodels than wrestlers, and they're more focused on looks.
Yeah,
and even then,
although not Caitlyn,
back in the day, divas were used more for managers. They don't need to do that anymore. It's now I think
dating superstars
and dating. Yeah. I think
Stacey Keebler dated George Clooney and Tori Wilson dated Alex Rodriguez.
AJ in the past
was it Alex Rodriguez or Derek Jeter?
In her career, in her young career, she's dated how many or / made out with.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Divas division has potential.
It does,
but they gotta work at it, and the problem is they're not.
They don't.
And they tried working at the tag team division. They're still working at that still.
Yeah, and then it's like they kind of held back on that, and
and that's why honestly nobody takes those matches anymore seriously because it's like
hey,
you're
not.
You
know what? They have a reality show on E surrounded.
Yeah, there's more. They place more focus on that.
The main reason, Wayne, is it's TV 14. And it's a bunch of cute girls. So probably most of those are depressed guys that need something good to look at on TV.
Is that E's audience, depressed guys? That's something to look at? Is that why the Kardashians are doing so well on that network?
I don't know why I think the Kardashians are doing well.
So our final match, Christian versus Alberto Del Rio for the heavyweight title.
More like a rematch, technically.
Yeah.
Just not without ladders.
Yeah.
And not involving any protection of our friend.
Of course, Ricardo's gone. He got murdered by Del Rio on Raw, pretty much.
Yeah. Although
that's all you can call it.
I suggested that after that happened, that perhaps maybe he'll get involved and screw Del Rio over. I mean, who knows?
Do you want to heard the reason was why they got rid of Ricardo? Vince thought that Ricardo made people take Alberto less serious.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you mad?
He's a personal ring announcer.
Yeah, exactly. He enhanced that gimmick. Now did Alberto Rio come out 2 cars at one point, which I don't know why they stopped doing it all. I guess because Vince is cheap now all of a sudden. What, these cars made of free? Actually, they probably are some of John Cena's cars anyway. I mean, hey, John, we need this car this week.
Hey, some of those, except for the one that got beaten up at WrestleMania 27, I'm pretty sure are donated by those companies just for a brief time to use as a promotion. Yeah. Let's think about it. If you see that on a promotion I've seen worldwide, doesn't that want you to buy that? Because you're like, you have a rich millionaire who's owning a car, who has this fancy car, and he's now a wrestler. Oh my gosh, I could own this car too.
Yep. No, but I don't get Vince's logic there.
Nobody gets Vince's logic
anymore. No one does anymore. No one does.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? I'm gonna go Del Rio. I
mean, to
WWE's credit, they tried to make Christian come off as like, this veteran that just looking for that one more world title pretty much run. If you want to count his last 2 as successful world title runs.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. He won legitimately against, well, technically Edge helped him. But
that didn't help him by much. It was just a honk of a horn.
Yeah, which distracted Del Rio. Yeah. Edge didn't physically get in the ring. Del Rio just said, hey, stop honking the horn. I'm not in the building pretty much. And, it's almost like it's almost the John Cena and ambulance one time. There's nobody coming out of the ambulance. Just sees the ambulance and goes, oh, ambulance, got to run towards it.
But the difference is between that match with John Cena and this one and the Alberto Christian with the ladder match it was still one heck of a match because those guys put their bodies on the line because it's a ladder match. I mean, when you're putting yourselves on the line like that, it's tough. It doesn't matter even if it was Edge that, quote-unquote, helped him to win. He put on a good match, and it proved, he deserved that title that night because he put on one heck of a match. But that was because it was in his type of arena. It's a singles match this time. That really just, I don't see it really going to be drawing as much.
And then you had Christian's second world title win, which wasn't really a win. Randy Orton just kicked him in the balls.
Yeah.
And because the rules at the time was Orton got disqualified intentionally, he lose the title. So, can you really say those are 2 legitimate world title wins?
The thing I thought was funny.
I'd give one more legitimate than the other.
To be fair, is the world title even a legitimate title anymore at this point?
That's still drawing questions.
The thing I thought was...
Because John Cena would acknowledge his 2 wins.
Right, yeah.
Daniel Bryan, in his mind, is not even one world champion.
Yeah. And the thing I thought was funny was that when they were showing Christian last night in the past when he won the World Heavyweight Championship from Del Rio, they didn't show Del Rio, anywhere. They just showed
Christian.
Ricardo
or no,
no.
No.
They were like just showing Christian get it from the ladder.
Did they show a bloodied up Brodus Clay that match?
I don't remember.
Brodus Clay was supposed to get busted over before that match.
Which does make it interesting because if they would have showed Del Rio like in that match and it's like, oh well, these 2 guys are about to face each other again. You figure this time. So yeah,
I always feel like this match has got thrown together. It's like Sheamus is out with an injury for 6 months. Who else do we have on this roster that could maybe get a shot? Rob Van Dam just came back. Randy Orton, he's involved in the WWE one right now. Christian, you doing anything this week?
Van Dam, no, let's put him in the U.S. title match. It's
to be fair, Tyler, he just came back.
It's like that. Yeah, but I mean, they had.
And to be fair, he's not winning a world title again.
Well, he's not going to win the U.S. title. Obviously.
No, well, he should win. He doesn't deserve to win any title. Because first of all, you don't piss off Vince McMahon. Let's get one thing straight here about this.
I could before he retires. Before he retires, I could possibly see one short reign.
You don't piss, two exceptions. You can piss off Vince McMahon, but you got to make a shitload of money for the company for him to forgive you in the end.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it was only a couple of months. Even Vince got over pretty easy with us.
Yeah, but I'm still saying it worked then.
Yeah.
Not to mention he had Jim Ross to also be in Vince's ear a few times and say, "Hey, Steve's thinking about coming back. Do you want to bring him back?" Yeah, sure, we'll bring him back. He could be in one more match with The Rock. And it's not gonna be his last match or anything. Oh, the neck injury? Yeah. Huh. Well, damn it, we gotta find a new guy then. Brock, you're up.
But now, I thought they were also. I think you said that was the last one, but I don't you remember that they were gonna have Dolph Ziggler?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah, I forgot about that.
But the thing was, like, they weren't even on Raw this past week, which is odd.
No, it's still on the card.
Think about it. It's on the card.
It's on the card for the purpose of having a tag.
It wasn't advertised though, so it either got dropped.
Yeah, I don't know if it got dropped or.
Well, I can see on SmackDown this week.
It's still on the card. It's just I don't think it's going to be a big match.
No, but it wasn't advertised at all on Raw. Like there was no segue.
Nor was.
I mean, I should say AJ Lee and Big E Langston faced Great Khali and Natalya in a match that I'm sure made so many people happy to watch.
Right. Yeah.
Great Khali and Big E Langston in a match. Gee, that's terrific.
Yeah.
But no, okay. Well, quicker pick. Del Rio and Caitlyn.
Del Rio and Caitlyn.
Sorry, Ziggler and Caitlyn.
But yeah, if that match does happen, that's how I feel like a lot of these matches. Like, is this they came up with it last second? Like, is this match gonna happen?
No. Yeah. I really feel like they just combined 2 matches here. We're not gonna do a Ziggler Langston single match. We're not gonna do a Caitlyn AJ single match. We're gonna just do a quick mixed tag team match.
Yeah.
We put 2 matches in one.
Which
smart.
I'm honestly going to give that match about 1 grade above the Divas match, unless the Divas match pulls something crazy.
Yeah.
I'll give it 2. I'll give it 2 stars above the Divas match because Ziggler and Langston can actually work in the ring.
But once again, though, Ziggler, this is like not this is below Ziggler's level now.
Hey, which is why if he wins, he starts going back to his winning streak.
Then hopefully
he can
hopefully
get revenge on his girlfriend.
Hopefully this is just like a side feud to kind of like
unless Vince is high on Biggie Langston, the next thing you know, oh my gosh, it's
kind of the
another big guy.
And the thing is, this also might this whole idea might bring Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn together. Who knows? Mm-hmm.
Another relationship. Oh,
I'm not lobbying for it.
She's kind of a bit too buff to be Ziggler's girlfriend, don't you think?
I think she can kick his rear end.
Yeah, well.
No. Ziggler actually was an amateur wrestler, so I don't know about that. And Caitlyn was a former bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You want to see some weird?
So was John Cena, Wayne, but he couldn't hack it as a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. I think after that everybody said you can't make fun of John Cena.
Honestly, I don't think anybody's looking forward to that match, other than the fact that probably see Dolph Ziggler wrestle.
All I know is it's gonna give more time to the main event matches. Because if you would have just did a Ziggler Langston match and a Caitlyn AJ match, it would have taken who knows maybe 10-15 minutes off of something that could have gone to a main event match. Maybe.
Yeah, and the thing is, they have the other Divas match now with Natalya and
the total Divas match.
Yeah. So this way,
and by the way, JoJo,
kills 2 birds with 1 stone.
the small under 21 diva, total divas, which actually is like pissing some people off there in the company or making them nervous because having somebody under 21 on the road is kind of weird.
Odd, yeah.
Yeah, odd. She's supposed to sing the national anthem at Summerslam.
Yeah.
And actually, do you remember watching a Total Divas episode where she sang part of the Ton of Funk song? And she actually came off pretty well, supposedly on the camera and that. Yeah. So supposedly she does have some vocals. So Lillian Garcia, watch out. This might be your ring announcer replacement, maybe.
So now, Unfortunately, now there's guys. Cesaro, I guess, isn't going to be on this card. Well, his team with Swagger.
Yeah, the Real
Barrett,
Americans not coming out to Hulk Hogan's Real American theme song.
Yeah, no way.
I'm still. It's money. It's money. They're called the Real Americans. This song speaks America, not the da 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 da. It's a great guitar riff. I mean, Jim Johnston is done amazing again. And it's better than
they could just blend all the military's theme songs together. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
let's combine all 4 of them together.
Just
come out to each one.
Come out to the Banner Brothers theme song for I can't. I mean, Ziggler's pretty. Or I don't know, like one of those like old like I don't know, Bill. Like I always like it when Coulter does the twirling of the evil the mustache kind of. Almost like those old like black and white villains.
Last night it really looked hardcore.
Look, honestly, that was something that was started off. It looked like it was going to have a big time push. They were really gaining momentum, and then all of a sudden, you hit Mania, and
no, what happened was Jack Swagger had to smoke pot in Mississippi.
Well, that too. But Mania definitely proved it was going downhill.
So the moral of the story, kids, is do not smoke weed.
Or any other drugs.
But and then again, you got Wade Barrett doesn't seem to have a place. Ryback, I guess, does.
The bully. Yes.
Honestly,
unless they put something together.
We'll have a segment, Tyler. We'll have some segment with bullying right backstage.
Honestly, I couldn't care if Ryback was on there or not because that guy has made me sleep. Literally, he's made me fall asleep.
They've used. I mean, WWE's used him pretty.
Oh, they've used him, but I don't like it. I don't think he has the it factor that's needed, and that's what he's lacking.
He definitely had a lot of momentum going.
But at this point,
he has a lot of momentum going because he was a Vince boy.
But at this point, he's been the most successful guy from season 1 NXT.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Which.
That isn't saying much.
It doesn't. Try to name 08 of those guys. Because some of those guys have been cut and gone.
I mean, that's like saying the most successful person out of Tough Enough is one of the Funkadactyls.
She's the only one left on the roster.
It's like, woo! That's a great accomplishment.
And and she. I mean, it keeps talking about the swagger pot thing. When she got caught with weed with the cops, she tried to buy the cops off. Hey, $50 says you didn't see this. So that's why I think. Actually, I think that's why a lot of people hate her in the locker room right now because it's like, who the hell does she think she is? I'm a superstar. $50 right here. I didn't smoke any.
Wayne, we're talking about the one who thought the best match they loved was
Alicia Fox.
It was no, that was their favorite wrestler, but it was like Melina versus somebody. It was like their favorite match.
Fox.
Oh, it was versus Alicia Fox. Well, never. Well,
I mean, Alicia Fox's name mentioned it. Austin just gives the best. What?
Yeah. And then
she's like, I've been watching for a month. Okay.
Yeah. And then of course Sheamus is injured now.
Hurt his elbow. Shoulder injury. Which isn't
He'll
good.
be out for a while.
Yeah.
6 months. Shoulder injuries are not easy ones to recover from.
Which can only mean one thing for the foreseeable future. 1-800-BRO-KICK is going to be offline.
Oh my God! No, 1-800 fella
for quite some time. Fella, whatever. So,
Bro kick. Bro kick's what he does.
Yeah. Well,
that's one good thing. He doesn't have to worry with the shoulder injury and the fact that it doesn't affect his finishing move because he uses his legs, not his shoulder.
Yeah, but he still has to pick a guy up.
He still, yes.
But
that requires a shoulder.
But yeah, I mean that could definitely be good for Sheamus because people are.
I don't think his character's getting stale.
Maybe he'll turn heel when he comes back, and
they brought that up too.
It's you know who you need to have him get a. He needs to get. You know how to help him get a bigger push. Bring in Roddy Piper, the legend.
Yeah. But he's Scottish. Well, actually, he's Canadian. He's Scotsman, but
it don't matter. He's wearing a dark kilt, bagpipes. Come on.
I mean, I'd say Vince had a lot of racial problems back in the 80s.
Shocking.
Piper, you're Canadian, right? I know you can wear a coat and go out
as
a Scotsman.
That was not even back in the 80s, even now.
Tony Atlas, let's look at American, come out as a tribal warrior.
Let's look at Kofi Kingston. Ghana, West Africa. No. You're from Jamaica.
Kofi actually did my night gimmick, though.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. But...
He actually said that. He actually said it's character related. You had to go with characters back.
That's somebody who's not.
I think there's no point now in coming to a Jamaican song when they're now acknowledging that you're from Africa.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't.
So,
Entertaining
Especially
individual.
and this
I think that's pretty. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Actually, I thought about saying this quick. WWE 2K14. They have announced their single campaign game mode this year for.
Did they? Really?
Yep.
This is
It's gonna be called,
this is news to me.
Yep, it's gonna be called. It's gonna be called 30 Years of WrestleMania. Obviously acknowledging WrestleMania 30 coming up. You get to relive 45 classic WrestleMania matches as they happen, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like the Attitude Era mode when you pretty much are reliving Attitude moments.
Going deeper.
You got to be like certain objectives in that. But like one of the screenshots is from 28. You see The Rock celebrating, and you see Cena on the outside doing what he did when he lost. You know, he's like laying out there, just like staring at The Rock and like his head down.
Yeah.
So. That's how detailed they're going to try to make these. So obviously there's going to be like Rock and Hogan from 18, and obviously Hogan on. There's going to be a lot of Hulk Hogan matches in here in the beginning, probably. Maybe a King Kong Bundy moment will show up also. I mean, I'm trying to think of 45 classic matches.
Yeah.
And you got to, of course, fill out Chris Benoit's name because you can't acknowledge this guy on television anymore.
That's about the only entertaining thing that's going to be good on their video games is just their story modes. Because honestly, it's getting more and more difficult to play their bloody game.
The replay value to me, like once you play the story mode, like I don't know, the universe mode to me, like it just doesn't. Yeah. I'm still looking for like a kind of a return to like the good old season modes, like when you had Here Comes the Pain.
I'm still waiting for the Here Comes the Pain gameplay to come back. Yeah, it was so easy to do stuff in Here Comes the Pain.
Oh yeah. It was usually like almost extra.
Of course, you would always be Brock Lesnar or Bill Goldberg because they would do so fast to make somebody get because that was the first time that they actually had like the whole damage thing. You actually knew like how much damage you did to somebody. And if you were Goldberg and Lesnar, especially if you gave finishers to them right away, you could win it under a minute or under 30 seconds.
That's something they got rid of was the idea of looking at a person and being able to see him go and you're beating him down.
Yeah.
You can't see that anymore. It's now you're basically taking a wild guess and hoping.
Yeah.
Basically, all I did was I built
to start walking slowly.
Look, I played the last wrestling game I played was 2010, and all I did to win there was I would bash chairs against people until they bled, or I kept putting finishers on them until they finally got pinned or they tapped.
The core strategy was concussion. Well,
it's the only way you knew that they were down and out. You couldn't tell any other way. I mean, I other than the fact their story mode seems pretty awesome and everything, it's
because the pain was interesting because it was so easy to fuck people off for Hell in a Cell.
What I think
now it's so hard to do that now.
What I think they need to do besides a story mode is where they have the ability that you can create your own pay-per-view and anything, but just have all your wrestlers and all these guys that are going to be voices in there, have them put in other voices that you can then pluck these lines, put them into your own pay-per-view match so you actually hear a voice rather than sitting there trying to read subtitles, because most games that you're sitting there reading subtitles, you get bored. Because you're like, I want to hear words. It's boring. It's more entertaining with vocal, not just here's a word. That's what I think it's missing. That's the key. Because that's something you can go back through and replay over because you're creating your own pay-per-views. But it's with actual vocals. Like with the story, you can actually hear vocals. For goodness sake, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah. But no, I decided to bring it up because, I know Tyler's been playing some of the newer ones. And like, I really stopped, I think, after like 2008 because I'm just like, it's not.
No, you played 2010. That was yours.
Okay. That's when I bought was 2008. That's when I bought with my money was 2008.
No, you bought 2010 with your own money. Remember, I bought that from you.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, yeah. No, wait, did you buy it or did I give it to you? There's a difference, Corey.
No, you gave it to me, but then I gave you 8 and 9 until I.
Oh, okay.
Took those back to you.
Okay, see, you didn't buy it. You exchanged it with me for 2 older games.
Yeah, which had more entertaining rosters to them. What can I say? 2010 didn't have that great of an entertaining roster. It's pretty good.
Well, Corey, it's kind of funny. I mean, I think of 2K14 with all these legends, and this is probably the Attitude Era of all these legends. You're not gonna have a whole lot of mid-card guys. I mean, no primetime players are gonna be eligible.
Yeah.
No, they'll probably put them on DLC like they always do.
Oh, always put on DLC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheap bastards. Put it on. Yeah. We can't put anything in a game. Gotta, steal more of your money. DLC. Just DLC it.
Yeah.
So, Corey, nice nice of you to join us. Well,
what is that?
What is? I'm shaking your hand.
That was a left hand with a right hand. That was creepy.
But we'll probably see you maybe at the Mania predictions, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna work through most of the pay-per-view, but
I will be ordering it.
Yeah.
Hopefully not regretting my decision.
I'll just be reading the Facebook posts that always show up from WWE Facebook fan page.
Yeah. And then next week on the Great Wrestling Debate,
give our thoughts. Give our thoughts on SummerSlam. Give our thoughts on Raw.
Yeah, give our thoughts going forward.
CM Punk all the way.
Should be a lot of thoughts to talk about.
Hey, Corey. Well, did Ryan win the WWE title?
I'm so hoping.
Yes!
We got
yes! And the phone just rang.
No.
All right. So with that in mind, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in.